Hello everyone, my name is Jaya and welcome to another mini mic'd up series. Those who don't know, my name is Jaya. I'm a dancer, I am a dance educator, but I'm also the founder of Jaya, a dancewear brand focused on inclusion and equity within the dancewear space. I don't know why I was sitting so close, let me sit back. Just excited, I guess. But if you haven't seen any of my mini mic'd up series, I suggest you go click somewhere up here and check out those other videos so that you can kind of understand where I'm coming from, who I am, a little bit more of my background, and also get those views up. Okay, anyway, moving on. Today's video is how to get involved in dance. I feel like I hear this question all the time from parents who have young kids to older grown folks that always was interested, maybe couldn't afford it as a child. They usually ask me, like, how do I get involved now at my big grown age? So I'm going to give you the answer to both of those questions. So let's get right on to it. So for parents who have kids, I say look up your local dance studio. It's very easy to Google, just dance studio, and sign your kid up for dance lessons. So my mom, I believe, signed me up at 2. I hated it. I cried, but she didn't give up on me. She signed me back up at 3. So sometimes, kids may not like it at first. Sometimes it can be the art form, but a lot of the times I feel like it's the studio. Yeah, sign your kids up, see how they like it. I like to go for ballet, jazz, tap at a young age. And a lot of dance schools have like pre-dance, which is like jazz and ballet kind of fuse. It's like a movement class, especially for the younger kids, just to get their bodies moving in a controlled way, I guess. How I vet studios is if they have like recital videos, sometimes they post them, sometimes they're in the studio, watch them, see if you like what you're seeing. Look at the faculty. If I'm not gonna hold you, if I see a Caucasian teacher teaching hip hop with a full Caucasian staff and I don't see anyone of color, I'm not taking my black child to that studio. I would definitely go to a studio where the styles are being taught by the people who created them. I like to learn from, whose culture it is. So if I did a salsa class, I want to learn from a Latina teacher. And so when it comes to hip hop and African classes, I would prefer a black teacher for my kid. I'm sorry. If anyone else is teaching it, I'm going to be like, I need credentials. I need to know what cookout you went to that gave you these credentials to teach a hip hop class. Okay, we're not gonna get into that today. So that's how I look. That's kind of how I vet it. For my people who may not have dance studios around your area, or you may not be able to afford them because it can be expensive, I say churches sometimes have programs like gospel dance programs that I think are good. Also, after school programs, like at the school sometimes we'll have programs that I think are cool as well, just to get the kids moving. I think it's good. And then if you were like, well, my kid is, a little bit too advanced to do those types of things, but the money is still rough, they offer scholarships in different schools. You just have to ask and see like if there's any type of discount or scholarship for kids whose parents may not be able to afford it. You just have to ask. And a lot of the times the studios will understand that. And if it's a really good studio, like I said, they'll have scholarships to help out in those situations. Now for my adults slash like teens, who didn't start at a young age but still are interested in dancing, I say try online classes. A lot of really good studios have online classes. Take those first if you don't feel comfortable going into the studio first, just to like be in the comfort of your own home if you have the space. Try out an online class. Like I know like ballet class could be very intimidating to go into at first if you're a shy person. So an online class I think will be really, really cool. You have to keep your camera on though, so it's still similar but not as similar as like being next to someone right next to you, you know what I mean? But I don't think you should do online classes all the time. I think you should do that if you need a supplement or if you're just starting. I think that's a good like way to be, introduction to ballet class, because then you'll know what you need once you're like doing it, you know what I'm saying? I don't really recommend online classes for kids because I notice that kids like attention spans don't really last that long unless you're doing like a really high pace, like really upbeat class for kids. I don't think that they will pay attention for over 30 minutes for a class. So I don't recommend online classes for kids all the time. Can they still? Yes, but I really recommend them for the older folks. So if you're one of those people who are like, okay, I don't really care, like I just want to try a dance class, go into the studios that offer pop-up classes, or there's some studios who just offer open classes. Being in major cities, you'll find a lot of them. I don't know how many you'll find outside of major cities, but like in LA and DC and in New York, I went to a bunch of open classes in like Millennium. I go to Team Millie. I go to Movement Lifestyle here. The Playground, Genesis, I think it's called. In New York, they have Broadway Dance Center. Parsons Studios have some things there too. I think they have a Millennium in Philly. Oh, Philly has them too. I know Koresh. I love Koresh's classes in Philadelphia. And I know like my old studios, Elion, teachers from there tend to do like pop-up classes every now and then. So like some in the summer and some in the winter. I know that for sure. I like to do is I go to the open, if I'm in a major city, if I have access to these things. I go into the portal, I look up a class that I may want to take, and then I look at all the teachers that teach that class, and then I like go and look at their Instagrams or their TikToks or their Facebook or their YouTube to see what, if I like their style, and then I will pick based on that. So that's how I vet teachers. Nowadays, I'm really good at finding good teachers that in that method, but you have to kind of have like a trained eye for it, or you have to know what you like, which I feel like when you're first starting, you don't really know what you like. So it's probably harder to pick a teacher, but always go for the beginner class. I even go for beginner classes when I go to new studios all the time, because I feel like I should always know what the beginner class is, so then I know where I should be in the ranking of classes. Now, granted, I am an advanced dancer, but there's some classes where you should start with the beginning, even no matter how advanced you are, just so you get the movement quality of the person who is teaching the advanced class, if that makes sense. I could go into these advanced classes and probably be just fine, but I like to, learn the warm up first before I get thrown into a class where it goes, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and everyone already knows what they're doing. Like, if you know, you know. In advanced classes, everybody been there, they stay there, they know the warm up. So always start with a beginner where, everyone's probably new, and then work your way up. Those are my few tips about how to get involved in dance at a young age and how to at an older age. I hope you find these tips helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys again in another video. Okay, bye.